let's go to BET first. And should we get started with, even before we get to Tyler Perry, should we get started with like how BET came to its space? And then I guess I want to start with a question for you, Jared. So Bob Johnson talks about how BET was inspired by John Johnson. They're not kin, but he said like he saw what John Johnson did with Ebony and Jet, and he wanted to do a video version of that, so that he went to tap into his rich daddy, like Jay-Z is right now, John C. Malone, to get pitched his idea so he can invest in. So when you think about Jet, Ebony, and BET, and then buying power, and also Tyler Perry's potentially buying this, what do you say to the group or to the audience who's celebrating this Tyler Perry's unconfirmed win right now? Like, what would you say to them, especially with your book coming out?
So, well, I mean, there's a number of things. First of all, there is an environment in which all this is taking place and what media is allowed to be used for. So there's the commercial, the military, and all of that. So this idea, so what Bob Johnson was wanting to update from John Johnson was this idea that there is money to be made in a media space by promoting ideas of a Black middle class aspirant community that is unthreatening, unradical, wanting the American dream. And in that lane, there is money to tap into coming from the white advertising commercial corporate structure. So with that understanding, with that, and that's the lane that Bob wanted to be in terms of digital televised media. And like always happens, there is that initial promotion of Blackness, of unity, of advance, of solidarity. Almost all of it is then quickly, demonstrated to be replaced with a cash grab by this Black bourgeoisie, this Black capitalist commercial media elite. So from the beginning, Bob Johnson, so the same thing, John H. Johnson went to the white commercial corporate world, the US government, et cetera, to get money for a Black commercial media project that would be ostensibly Black, nominally Black, promote a Black middle class excellence with occasional, Lerone Bennett and others. I get it. There's others dipped and dived and dropped in some this and that and there and this, but that was primarily the goal. Bob Johnson said the same thing should happen in terms of televised media, and he did the same basic thing. He went in terms of funding and corporate ad revenue, he went in the same direction. And as you have already pointed out, what most people don't realize is that he went to this guy, John C. Malone, who is a billionaire from the telecommunications industry. It says here he's American. I thought he had a British background, but I'm happy to be checked on that.
I mean, it wouldn't be surprising. All of them have some type of.
Yeah, that's what I seem to. But in the anniversary, I forgot that this is some years ago now, but I think it's in the 20th or 30th anniversary book that you could get from BET some years ago. And I have it somewhere. It proudly tells you that Bob Johnson put up 15,000, John C. Malone put up 500,000. And that's how you got BET, or Black Entertainment Television. And of course, it eventually got picked up by Sumner Redstone's VH1, and that and became a property of that. And now we get this idea that, because again, as we already mentioned, the Black capitalist fantasy, as is really with almost all business, is to get big enough to have someone bigger buy you out, and that's what was the goal. And now now that it has probably floundered and gone as far as it can go, they're willing to sell it back to Tyler Perry, and he's going to use this Black excellence thing to promote himself. And as we talked about already, the Mantan Manifesto starts to reinvent itself. So I'll stop there. Go ahead.
So Diallo, you're on mute right now.
You're on mute, Diallo. Yeah.
But even before you go, so this idea of selling it back. They're selling majority stakes. So this idea of selling stakes and percentages and stuff, because John C. Malone, yes, he invested at beginning, but he also owned part of BET. He was a minority owner.
Yeah, that's right. Well, yeah, if you put up 500 and someone puts up 15, I mean, that's the relationship.
Like, you're gonna have to pay back that loan, and they getting kick off of the profit. But both of them, because John C. Malone is actually investing in Bob Johnson's 401k business too. He's investing in that right now too. And so he's talking about this idea of closing a racial wealth gap. So they did sell BET to Viacom for $3 billion. I called to say that Bob Johnson supposedly was a billionaire. He's no longer a billionaire. But
well, that was in part because of the divorce, right? And then he lost a good chunk to his now ex. I think that's what technically dragged him below the.
I mean, he's 12. He got 12 million right now, and John C. Malone got 4.7 billion, 416 times his money. So again, if I know Diallo don't like the stats of closing the racial wealth gap, but I think it's a good indicator of showing that you ain't getting close to these motherfuckers at all. So go ahead, Diallo. I know you wanted to say something.
Yeah, I think the racial wealth gap is a flawed aspiration, you know. Yeah, and I've go in on it. Like I said, it's a scam, you know, because when have Europeans ever closed their wealth gap with anybody else? You know, and
even within each other, they don't even close with each other.
Like, yeah, I think that's a flawed aspiration. And for white people, you know, for us to be looking across a chasm at white folks and capitalists and Europeans, and we're looking at a chasm trying to build a bridge to get over there. And I don't think we fully evaluate what's all over there, who all over there. You know? So, but yeah, it's like you said, you know, send up the ball sign, because it's just like you said. If Tyler does manage to turn these floundering properties, it's really IP, really.
Yeah.
It's really just, it's IP at this point, right? So if he turns it around, he's just going to inflate it and sell it back for a payday. And
but can he sell it back though? Because again, like they're not selling. I don't think they're selling the whole thing. They're selling a majority stake in it. So once he become a majority stake owner, he still might not have voting rights. He might still can't control.
Right, yeah. But like I'm saying, there will be opportunities to cash out if he could really get on there and put on the high quality, inspirational, godly, inspirational. Like he said, everything he does is just to bring us to God. So if that really blows up, you know,
he said that
he can cash out.
So, but the other thing, but I just want to reiterate the point that also ownership in this context is also misleading, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter the color, race, religion, background of the owner. It is the advertising and ad revenue community that determines what the content will be. So it just if you want to be successful, again. George Jackson could have had a TV station, and it would have been collapsed under the weight of no ad revenue. It would have had nothing to do with the quality of programming or the owner. Right. So that's the thing. So Tyler Perry, because of his ensconced relationship with mainstream Hollywood and funding, and him having produced an endless stream of content that they are happy to have, he's in a good position as any to survive this and do well with this. It just doesn't mean anything good.
And can we act like this is not something absolutely? I mean, didn't James Brown own several radio stations? We had Radio One. We had Bon Jovi. We've been here before. I don't understand the jubilation.
Don't Byron own the Weather Channel or something like that? Byron Allen?
Yeah. Glenn, he does. He owns and cars.com and all this other kind of stuff.
So why are people trembling in the street like as if we've crossed some type of
black people have the power? We have the power to stop global warming right now because we own the Weather Channel, so we can stop global warming now. So if
folks remember, and if I remember correctly, if you go back and read the commentaries of Glenn Ford, when he talked about he got his start working at James Brown radio stations, and then he in Georgia, in Augusta, Georgia, and spoke about how James Brown wasn't no different than anybody else as an owner of a radio station. Like it was a business operation, and he had to work to produce news that as Glenn had to work to produce the news that he wanted to produce within that context as anything else. And that's what helped Glenn conclude, as he did in his what was it, his obituary review or his eulogy, whatever he was saying about that, he called James Brown the hardest working asshole in show business. So I mean, like that, what did Bomani Jones say in that great clip that did we air it here or somewhere? I aired it. I can't remember where I played it, where he's talking about black ownership. And he said, have you had to be, I forgot who was he talking about? The black business owner. He was like, if you ever worked for just a black business owner, he's like, it's terrible. It's like, it's no better than anybody else. And he mentioned, I think, a couple other people. I think he even mentioned Tyler Perry. But he was like, if you heard what people say after they've worked with these people, like it's yeah.
So I saw some guy saying we got BET back.
Yeah. I mean, people have been saying that the whole day. But one of the things that I'm pretty sure somebody already came to the conclusion and probably wrote about it. But like Bob Johnson, literally, when he said he came up with the idea of BET, there was this old white man who had this retirement brochures, and he said he literally took the brochure and put black in front of everything he said, and then pitched it to John C. Malone. And then, like, ironically, he's doing some 401k retirement shit now. So he got his whole damn playbook off of some rich white people.
Now, we want to play some of the Bob Johnson video that you sent?
I mean, yeah, just if we wanted to kind of go into the idea of, one, John C. Malone is, again, backing and controlling pretty much the company. But then I also want to get into the white boy who pretty much is doing some kind of revision plan to Paramount, and that's why Tyler Perry's even in the conversation in the first place. But
and then we also got to hear from we got to play the boys video though.
Oh yeah, boys.
John and I know each other because, as I said, I was a lobbyist, and John and I had gotten to know each other. And John is the kind of guy who believes in entrepreneurs, believes in people working hard for themselves, and he's always open to ideas. And of course, he was a cable operator looking for any programming ideas that made sense. So in the course of being at some of the industry events, I told him if I got an idea, and he said, well, if you get an idea and you want to talk to me about it, I'll be glad to sit down and talk to you about it. So when I put together my one-page business plan for BET, I took it out to him and said, John, here's my plan. I want to start a channel targeting African Americans. He owned a couple of
targeting.
That's the word I was just going to say. That's the word right there. It's not for, to help, to benefit, target. That and of course, John Malone was like, yeah,
heavy African American population, particularly Memphis, and he saw this as a way of helping his system in Memphis with getting more African Americans to sign up.
His system,
and he also, like I said, believed in entrepreneurship. And so when I presented the idea, and he asked me how much did I need for it, I said, John, I need $500,000. And he said, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll buy 20% of your company for $180,000, and I'll loan you $320, and you'll be 80 and I'll be 20. Is that a deal? And I said, John, that's a deal.
You'll be 80 and I'll be
no. Go back.
20.
Hold up. All right, hold up.
Go back.
Again, Geechee. That's why I was asking you, where do you want it to go? Like
I forgot about this part. This the best part. Go back. He gonna tell him he would have taken the deal regardless of what he said.
You'll be 20. I still would have said, John, that's a deal. But he never said that. So it turned out I ended up with 80% of the company, and he ended up with 20. But his investment.
That's good. That's good right there.
For the money, but more important.
So that he was Stephen A. Smith, and before Stephen A. Smith was Stephen A. Smith. And you hear me? He said, "Don't matter what you gave me, boss. I was gonna take it all. If you told me I was 20, you was 80, I was gonna take that too." So,
wow,
giving off. It's giving Kathy Hughes. I mean, we've been here before. Let's just replay the Kathy Hughes show and I'll go back to bed.
There you go.
I mean, we've been here before. How many times we gonna fall for the same okie doke?
So, well, apparently, with the help of a few friends here,
I'm not gonna be out here telling your body to get an opportunity. You ain't gonna be on nobody's casting couch. I'm not gonna have you out here begging. I'm not gonna have you out here left out in the cold. Let's study Tyler Perry and how Tyler Perry was able
to proceeds to beg Tyler Perry.
Economic God. Tyler Perry is the guy that if you're an actor, actress, writer, producer, director, you want to be nice to him because he's the guy that can create the opportunity that gives you a chance to manifest your skill. The reason people kiss Tyler's ass and look past the fact that he put on Medea dresses for 12 years is because this brother, shout out to him, God bless him for this, has figured out how he could be the boss that's controlling and running things. So ultimately, what I want you to do with your kids is understand this is a transferable skill. This is doable. My PhD's in finance, by the way, for those who are new, so you understand where this is coming from. You have the same ability to create children that become economic gods. It just requires a shift in your thinking. It requires some preparation. It requires a little discipline, and it requires, as Professor James Small was telling me on the phone just now, it requires that you incorporate and inject your economics into your culture.
Ooh, Holy Ghost.
Must hold up before he gets more ramped up real quick. No, and I don't honestly even mean this will probably be misinterpreted, but that's okay. What work are people pointing to from Smalls and others when they praise and invite these folks on? What is the body of work that Boyce has read, listened to, studied from Smalls or anyone else to promote him and other than just that he can
name dropping?
Okay,
name.
So I'm just curious, like what is
dropping?
Okay, and then what is the work from Boyce Watkins that anyone has actually read, looked at, or studied that would have them conclude that he knows anything about what he's talking about when he anyway? Put your economics in your culture. Well, what the hell does that even
create?
My bad. Go ahead.
I know what that means.
I mean, well, since we skipping the Boyce, and I guess we can go back.
No, I want to let it finish. There's only a few more seconds. I just wanted to stop it there at the smallest point. But I mean, we can play
afterwards, I'm gonna read a quote from Boyce. Well, go ahead.
All right.
A culture that is built on economic power. If you do that, everything changes. All the racism and everything. Yeah, it's there, but
it's there. But
you know, Tyler Perry ain't gonna get pulled over and shot by the police.
Oh, Tyler Perry not gonna get pulled over and shot by the police.
Let me tell you something.
He's flying airplanes. I fly airplanes
because he's flying an airplane.
Pilot's license. I thought it was fascinating.
No, remote control airplane
at his house.
Oh my God, man! So what is it? So what is he saying? And so the rest of us who would get shot by the police, what does that mean?
Listen, I say all the time, it's too much.
Because Boyce is he's a sycophant for Tyler Perry. I guess we could toggle back and forth between the two. But Boyce once said, "I don't want to be a communist. I don't want to be a Marxist. I don't want to be a socialist." In the south side of Chicago, near the University of Chicago, that's a pretty heavy hotbed for socialism. Right. And there's nothing against it. There's some good ideas in socialism. I just don't want to be a socialist. Right. But just like there's good ideas in capitalism, but I don't want to be a hardcore capitalist. I'm black first, which means I rather specifically design an ideology that's uniquely created to solve our specific problems. That's how I think. So I'm not anti-capitalist or anti-socialism. I just want to be in the bed. I'm sorry, I don't want to be in the bed full time with either one of them. That's your economic god, genius, financial expert who sound like he don't know shit.
I don't even understand what that's all supposed to mean.
Well, you know, I just had a discussion with a brother that told me that I was a Eurocentric because I was a leftist and I promote leftism. And he said he's not left or right. He's pan-African. And I said, pan-Africanism isn't leftist. He says, no, because that's Eurocentric. So you're not capitalist or socialist. You don't have to be leftist or rightist. There's this zone of make-believe that these fence sitters, the people who are more than willing to engage and partake in and benefit from every aspect of capitalism, but still want credentials and still want to be associated with the struggle, because then they can flip that struggle and monetize the struggle. That's what that means. When somebody says, I ain't down with capitalism, but they engage capitalism fully and promote capitalism fully, and they say they're not really down with socialism and don't really have any reason besides they ain't down with it, that means they want to monetize Black struggle.